So for the last decade, fans of college football have been starved of a licensed video game that would allow them to take their favorite team to the college football playoff, or even build a dynasty with one of the new schools like Charlotte, Liberty, or App State. Not to discourage any indie game studio from working on a college football game in the future. If those studios have showed that they can build out some of the most in-depth dynasty features in a game, so much so that a big company like EA can stand to learn a thing or two from them, or better yet, bring them on and let them build out a better dynasty experience. And I'm not saying that those indie titles aren't enjoyable, but they absolutely lack the level of financial standing to afford to be able to bring to life the traditions, pageantry of the college football that we all know and love. Shout out to the amazing folks that worked on college football revamp for allowing us to squeeze an extra bit of life out of NCAA 14 for the last 5 years, by providing us with updated teams, uniforms, and rosters. But modding a game or a console to play it isn't necessarily for everyone. Heck, I'm just blessed to be savvy enough with technology that it was a breeze for me. Truth be told, it was the only reason I got a gaming PC in the first place. EA got us all hyped up with dropping a little teaser back in 2021. But now that we have an actual time frame for a release, the wait is finally coming to an end, and I'm more excited than ever to be able to crack the seal on a fresh new copy. And today, I wanted to share with you guys some of the first things I'm excited to try out when I start up the game. First and foremost, it's gonna be Play Now. I haven't purchased a Madden game in years because the experience playing it just isn't the same as college football. NCAA games always had this unique feel to them where the game was faster, just like in real life college. And Madden doesn't do a good job of recreating that feel. I think the last Madden I actually purchased was 2017, 2018, something like that. And even then, the game was far from perfect. I just recently bought Madden 25 on the PC when it went on sale on Steam for something stupid. But it was just to run mods. But even with the mods, it just still wasn't the same. It just doesn't compare. So as soon as I get the chance to, I'm running back the game with my boys, OH, IO. Let's go ahead and whoop up on some Team Up North. And this is going to be the first game to ever have licensed players in it. So I'm really excited to see how they implement that and what that's going to look like. Obviously, we'll know more once the full reveal trailer comes out in May. But I want to see Trey Henderson, Quinshawn Judkins, and J.J. Smith, and Brandon Ennis, Carnell Tate, Mecca Ibuka, and all those boys in that Chip Kelly offense, and then let them go. And on the defensive side of things, we have majority of our starters from last year coming back with JTT, Jack Sawyer, Styles Brothers, Davison, and then Caleb Downs coming over from Alabama. So just owning this game to have that squad on it is going to be legendary. And the next game I plan on playing is going to be that Rocky Mountain Showdown. But do y'all remember for like the first 4 weeks of last football season when we were all bandwagon Colorado fans? Man, that was magical. But nah, in all seriousness, I love Coach Prime. I love what he's doing over there. He's rejuvenated that entire program. I love to see his son, Shador, Shiloh, and even Travis all doing their thing and shining over there. So that's going to be another exciting team to play with in this game. Plus, they're all going to be licensed, so you'll actually get to use those players in this game. Easily for me, the best game of theirs to watch last year was that game versus Colorado State. I'm on the East Coast, and I stayed up late as I don't know what trying to catch that whole thing. I just couldn't turn the TV off. So I want to run that back as soon as I get a chance to. The next thing I'm really itching to try and get my hands on is whatever their new creative team is going to be. Maybe it's Team Builder, maybe it's named something completely different, but that is something that I've always enjoyed in these college football games, is how robust that system has been. And Team Viewer being one of those that had a full website dedicated to it, it really opened up the possibilities for what you could do with something like that. Now, unfortunately for me, when Team Builder was first introduced, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was in NCAA 11, I lived in a place that didn't really have internet. So when I first put that game in, and I was like, wait, where's the graded team? I couldn't find it. And then to look on the box and see that they had, sent that entire feature offline, I was a little disappointed. So personally, I didn't get to use Team Builder until I believe it was NCAA 13. But for what it was, I actually enjoyed it. I do have a wish list video plan of what I feel like the ultimate Team Builder experience should be, but that's for future video. So if you're interested, you will need to check back in for that one later on. But for this iteration of the game, I do have plans to create my fictional university. Got some names in the works, thinking of some things. What I have so far, I'm really liking, and I do have big plans for it in the future. Shout out to Not the Expert for what he's done with his entire UGF Panda series. It really gave me inspiration for what I want to do with my fictional school, and I have, like I said, big plans coming for that as far as some Let's Plays following the story of that school. I plan on building it up in the future. Next up is going to be Road to Glory. So my first build is going to be as a two-way athlete, wide receiver, DB. I'm going to go out there, see what kind of offers I can get playing both ways on the football field. I really enjoyed this mode for what it was, especially the high school portion of the game, because they did a really good job of representing what it feels like to go through a high school football season. And I always appreciated how, if you did have your player play as a two-way athlete, that you get scholarships for both and make that decision into what school and what position you want to play at when you went on to the college ranks. However, with Travis Hunter being in this game, him being in a position to go both ways for the Buffs, I would expect that with this game coming back, that they allow you to do something similar to that instead of limiting you to just one side of the ball in your college career. The one thing I never really liked about the mode was how short it was in comparison to other career modes and other sports games. But I do have another video that I'm going to be doing on that. So if you're interested in hearing what my ideas would be for how to improve a Road to Glory mode, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you won't miss out on that. And once I've gotten my hands on this game and gotten to play through some of these other modes, really gotten a good feel for the game, then it's going to be time for me to go ahead and settle in and start my coaching days. Now, if you're a real fan of the NCAA football series, you know you got to start this thing out at the very bottom. You got to get it out the mud. I'm talking about Texas State, South Alabama, FIU, Dynasty Heads. Now, we're out here for the real grind. No starting at a top tier 6-star program. But in all seriousness, I do hope that they finally give us the opportunity to start out as a position coach instead of offensive or defensive coordinator, and let us player lock on whatever specific position that we are in control of. Like if I'm the QB coach, I want to be able to player lock just the QB, or if I'm the receivers coach, let me switch between the receivers on the field. Players the same thing on defense with the linebackers, DBs, etc. But I'm really itching to find out what the new playoff system settings are going to look like. They made mention of there being a customizable playoff system in this year's version of the game, and I want to see how far we can just push those boundaries and what that would look like. And on that same note, the conference realignment and custom conferences, I really want to see how much freedom and control do they allow us, because in other previous versions of the game, you can never fully create a super conference. There were limitations placed on how many teams you could put in a conference. They locked you into having divisions, where a lot of conferences nowadays don't use divisions. It's just the best two teams with the best two records play in the championship, play for the title. Also, will we be able to fully delete a conference? Like right now, Pac-12 has gone through, all of the members have left. Now I think they're down to like 2 schools. Now they obviously can't really be the Pac-12 anymore. Will they allow us to do something similar and just remove a conference completely, or create a brand new conference from scratch And if you noticed earlier, I didn't really say anything about Ultimate Team. And to be quite frank, I'm not really a fan of the mode. It's something I've touched in other Madden games, but only briefly. And trust me when I say this, I have never and will never spend a dime on that mode. I understand the concept of it, but it's just not for me. Now, I am a college football fan at the end of the day, but I would like to see what former college football stars do they have included in the mode. Obviously, I believe they're going to put in your Cam Newton, your Mark Ingrams, your Percy Harvins, Tim Tebow's of the world. But let me see them get the likenesses of Braxton Miller, my favorite Buckeye, DeAnthony Thomas, Pat White, David Wilson, Nick Marshall, Colt Brennan, Marcus Lattimore, Michael James, Kenyon Barner, guys like that. Guys that played a major role and had a big impact on the story of college football, which for me was around the time when I really got introduced to the sport and really started to appreciate it for what it was. Like I said, I'll probably be checking it out. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time with it, but I mean, it's there. I'm paying for the game. I might as well look at it just to see what's in it. And with all that being said, man, I just want to thank you all for tuning in. This is my first time doing something like this, and I'm excited and hopeful to do more videos in the future. I do have big plans for this channel and a litany of content planned and topics to discuss, and also some type of giveaway in the very near future. So if you enjoy this type of content and would like to see more of it in the future, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Stay blessed, y'all. I'm out of here.